All right, guys, on this live, we're going to go through SPY, we're going to go through Bitcoin, we're going to go through silver, then we'll get into some question and answers. I'll probably talk a little bit about what kind of changes are coming, and then we'll have a special offer there at the end. So let's get into it, guys. SPY. So far today, this has been looking pretty accurate as far as lows. We have this multiple lows throughout the day, basically. 2 o'clock, there was this trade opportunity, and so this move into the close, it should be a pretty notable move into the close. It might turn over, but there's an attempt to establish support at a higher level, and that could be what's going on right now. So let me see here. Yeah, we've got higher to go. So in the midst of that, we have the Ace of Wands. It should be a good place to exit out of a long if you opened up a long position for a day trade. But more importantly, it's a good entry point for our longer term short position. I think probably the best entry point will be on the 28th. But I don't want to I don't want to miss out, and we're very, very close to whatever price would be on the 28th is my sense. So I might recommend, we'll see how it goes here in the last half hour or so. I might recommend getting into at least like a partial short for that multi-day Mercury retrograde trade. I mean, this followed pretty solid. Went a little bit higher than well, it was in this range, but I expected like a higher probability of here. So it went a little bit higher than expected. But we should basically have a similar reversal. And it's probably going to be from up here. I drew this red line, I mean, back on this, it was either the 5th or the 6th. Can't make it bigger. All right, I'll have to draw more, but with the sense that we'll come down within this range here, and since we went all the way to the top, I'm going to put another ellipse in here. This should definitely be our pivot point, like in here. If you're new to the channel, these ellipses that I'm drawing, red ellipses are places on the chart where I expect a low or a trough, usually a reversal, not always, but it's where I expect a low or a trough to form. And if it's a green ellipse, it's where I expect like a peak or a crest, some kind of high to form. Why is it not? So weird, it's like not letting me copy that. What the heck? So weird. Mercury retrograde, so annoying. You have all these like technical glitches that will just like disappear. Don't bother like trying to get them repaired if they appear during retrograde, because they'll disappear just as fast as they came. Yeah, what the heck? It's not letting me draw. Interesting. Well, I guess I'll leave it the way it is. That's the universe telling me something. Everything happens for a reason. Hey, it was luck. Hey, B. So guys, if you're just hopping on, we're just gonna do SPY, BTC, and silver, and then we'll get into questions and answers. I'm gonna talk a little bit about the changes that are coming and to look out for the questionnaire, and then we'll have a special offer at the end. Interesting. What's interesting, guys, we've got this strength card here. It appears here first thing in the morning, and then it appears here first thing in the morning again on the 28th. My sense is that whatever this move, this strength card move is, that's probably the high where we'll top out, and then we'll see it on the 28th as well. So on the 27th, the 28th, 27th and the 28th probably are highs. On the near term. Well, I mean, technically, on the everything term, unless we break, I mean, I don't know if we'll necessarily break this. We'll either break through it momentarily, or we'll like just miss it or something like that. But look, you've even got one other thing that's important is you've got the strength card here on the 1 month for August. It's the significator for the 1 month. This is what you call a cross-reading congruency. It's more. This is more advanced SO meta-analysis, cross-reading congruencies, which is something that we're going to teach in the 2025 Investor Profit University that we're gonna we're setting up for 2025 to start in January. Limited seats for that, guys. So look out for the newsletter. If you don't have the newsletter, go sign up. It's free. Just go to our website, Tarot for Traders, right here, guys, on the homepage. Sign up for the newsletter, and you'll find out more about it when we have more info. We send it out in the newsletter as well. But cross-reading congruency. So you got the strength card here. Strength card appears tomorrow, right? We're really, really close to highs, right? So chances are we go back to these highs again in the morning, and then again in the morning on the 28th. Interesting. This is probably wrong. This is probably like a move to the downside overnight on the 28th. Let me see. Yeah, it's probably a move to the downside. Let me mark that off. All right, so that's SPY. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. So I feel like I'm probably off on this trough here. If I'm off on these lows, it would suck to miss out on these highs. So I'm pretty sure I'm off on this low. It just doesn't make sense for it to be down here based on Mercury retrograde. It's more likely to be a peak here, and then we decline into this low. So I'm going to remove this one, guys. My bad. I mean, it happens, guys, you know? Especially during retrograde. It's not letting me add anything. All right, I guess I'll just leave it how it is because it's not letting me add. It's so weird. I think we're probably going to see highs here, right? It just makes sense that we should see highs here based on the pattern that's forming. And then we should have a decline down to these levels in September, like mid-September, before this big move in somewhere at the end of September or in October, we end up at like highs for the year. So significant trade opportunity there. If you've got any of the Discord alerts for crypto or all paid, which is now it's going to be called the monthly access subscription rather than all paid. It's going to be called monthly access subscription. So if you have that Angel Investor Discord or crypto, any of those, then you'll get live updated when it's time to make that trade. When I feel it's time to make that trade. If you're interested in getting any of those alerts, guys, the singular alerts are going bye-bye. So if you want to just keep the alerts at 75 a month, highly recommend hopping on it now because it's going to get packaged in at the end of next week. It's going to get packaged into our subscriptions. And you go to subscriptions. Literally, this will be here for like another 4 days. No, 2 days, excuse me. Another 2 days. So Discord alerts, click here to order on their website, Tarot for Traders. And you can click on either crypto or stock, or you can get both for $125. I have a feeling we're gonna go south here, guys. I just have a feeling based on what's going on right here. I mean, it looks like we're like attempting to establish support here, and what comes after the attempt at support is that fortune card reversal. Something that's important that I left out about cross-reading congruencies, guys, so that people who understand a bit about how to read the markups, these blues they're not indicating a high taking place necessarily right here at the open. Right, the cross-reading congruency, what you got to understand, this is like an energy on the scale of a whole month. This represents like energy, right? So when its energy appears here as a cross-reading congruency on a smaller time frame reading, it doesn't necessarily mean it lines up right on that hour, but it takes place usually somewhere within that period of time, because the whole period of time really is associated, and by that I mean the 27th is associated with this, right? I mean, it looks like we're going to go south, but I think we'll probably establish support here and move to the upside into the close. I just have a feeling about that. We'll see. If we do that, I would say you could open up a partial short there for that multi-day, just in case we like start this decline early. It's happened, and it doesn't happen often, but or you could wait till tomorrow. There's opportunity there. See, we've got that science card as the high, the Ace of Swords. These are very like important toppy price level indicators. We've also got a high here at the end of the day on the 28th at a resistance level we failed to break through many times before. Interesting. Do we have a high there? Wow, there's some sort of swing right there on the 28th. All right, let's take a look at silver, because I did get a clairvoyant impression right before this this live session that I need to take a look at silver. Oh yeah. Okay. So I nailed that right there, and we're moving into a peak there. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're gonna see highs for silver up here, but this is interesting. We probably have, right. We had a low in silver right there on the 5th. We're coming out of it. We probably have a peak here on the 28th, and then we decline back down to these price levels based on Mercury retrograde, which is super reliable. It's not a definite thing. Nothing ever is, my friends. Even the future will change if you modify it, or you don't know how to not modify it, I should say. That's why it's seemingly random. Not random, my friends. It's based on the present moment. Yeah. Okay, so on the near term, you probably want to take profits around these levels on silver. If you got in here, might make sense to do that, unless you just want to ride out this dip and buy more. But we should have something like taking place over here. I don't know why I can't use my charts. I'm not going to restart my computer right now. But I can't use my charts for whatever reason. But we're going to come down to roughly these price levels here by like the mid-September. And then there should be this move. So I would say hold the long. You could either take profits if you like on a really short term, or if you're going for this, hold the long, and if we drop, buy more. Or if you don't have anything more to buy, like buy with, no capital for that, sell half of it when we drop, buy it back, and then go for the high up there. We might go as high as $38 there. If you're new to the channel, that darker area is a higher probable location of a reversal. Hey AV, hey Proof. All right, guys. So let's get into the Q&A. IWM will drop during post shadow period. Oh, actually, let's do it like this. So the question is, when we have a drop in the post shadow, the post shadow starts on the 28th, and peters out into the 11th. I don't know if I can do it. Oh, now that worked. Okay. Oh. Look how uncanny that is, guys. Yeah, we probably have a pretty sharp drop in there, guys, because it's truncated. Now, be careful because that drop was only over like a what, a 1, 2, like a 3 day period. That big drop. So that's the type of thing where a weekend could like mute out that part of the pattern. Like 2 days of that 3 day drop would have been a totally different story if you removed 2 of those 3 days. Do you get what I'm saying? So the weekends cut up the pattern from the pre-shadow and the post-shadow. So you have to be careful and prepared for that sort of stuff. That's why you only go with the overall general behavior from this point to this point, right? Not so much what's going on in between, but from this point to this point, and then from this point to this point. It should follow a very similar pattern, but the weekends can throw it off, you know? But that's what it looks like. We should have another decline there in IWM. Something like that. Might be a little too low. Something like that. Will Meta and Amazon have higher highs Tuesday or Wednesday as compared to today? My gut says maybe momentarily, but we're pretty much topping off here, guys. Let's take a look at Meta. And the IWM chart is something that you would get with the Discord alerts. So depending on what Discord channel you have, you might have access to this IWM chart. Which I'll put on there right now, guys. You need to have angels. You basically need to have angels or alerts, index alerts for this one. Alright, so let's get into Meta here. Meta is when you need to be an angel or you need to have all paid access. Why does it do that? It's so weird. Okay, there we go. Yeah, we do have higher highs, it looks like, based on this chart and what the cards are saying. We're attempting to establish support around these levels here, right? So we'll have higher highs, probably come back to these price levels here. Let me see. Yeah, topping off around that level right there. Might go just slightly higher, but I would say go with, where is that? All right, here. Yeah, and it's what's interesting is when you look at the chart for Meta, the decline, like the retrogrades started on this, or the shadows started on the 16th right here, but the decline started ahead. So I probably want to be in a partial short on Meta right now, just in case that's what's happening again, which it's very likely that that's what's happening again. But my sense is that we probably bounce around here, right? Like this was kind of sideways before the drop. I don't know. We might be in the midst of it. So I would open up a partial short here, guys, if you haven't done so. And then if we go higher into this level around 537-ish, that's where I would like load up on the short. Amazon. And I go through like these phases where I like forget how important music is to, I mean, specifically to me as a clairaudient, and I like stop listening to it, and then it like disappears for a while. And then one day I'm like, wait a sec, and I put the music back on, and it's like, oh my gosh, how did I forget this? So weird. Clairaudience, there's so many different ways that you could be clairaudient. What? Oh, that's why, because there's, like, why is that not showing up? Missed that one. Yeah, this retrograde was rough for my readings. Um, but we have that low there on the 5th, right? Looks like the decline on this one started ahead of retrograde as well. Sort of what's happening. It's unusual that it would do that in the like in the actual retrograde period, but it's possible. So that's a similar thing. I would want to be in a partial short here. Like maybe I just open up like 25% of these short positions just to be safe. If we go higher, then I would look to open them, but I would be waiting for like a higher price on the 28th. And if that doesn't come, I don't want to be like, oh man, I missed it because I didn't get that 25% early on, you know? Yeah, see, we were establishing it here. Last few minutes, you could probably open up a short here to close at some point tomorrow, but it looks like there's probably opportunity tomorrow that's just as good. Just to be clear. The heck? Where's that? I think we still do go higher up in SPY, like at least back to the high here. But my sense is that we'll probably come back to the high from the 18th, just like momentarily, like intraday on the 28th. It's possible. Man, but even here on the reading, I'm getting a day early, so it's better to have a small position just in case. PLTR. I mean, I wouldn't enter into anything for like a long-term play until retrograde's over. AV. Man, I might want to be in a partial. No, this is not. This doesn't look like a good place to get into it. It does not look like a good place to get into it, really. Interesting how it outperformed one far above where it dropped from. This is one that you would have to have the total access subscription. Reaction to Nvidia earnings after the bell. I think this one we already discussed several times. It was like it's like a move higher, but we're capped off at resistance, and then we move to the downside probably. Approve. ETH and SOL for the remainder of August and September. And that, I gotta cut the questions there, guys. So we're gonna be making some changes. Look out for a questionnaire that's gonna go out tonight, guys. Because that information is going to be very helpful for us for some of these changes. You want your input into how the subscriptions and all that stuff are going to be managed. Look out for that, my friends. Oh, and more importantly, time frames. We're going to be alternating times for the live stream, so they're not going to be every day at the same time. They're going to be every week at the same time, different times of day. Like, so on a Monday it'll be the same time every week. Tuesday will be the same time every week. But like Monday and Tuesday won't be the same time, if that makes sense. So we want help figuring out what those times are. Yikes. I mean, for ETH, I've got highs here in September. Whether or not we come back down to these levels is a little questionable based on us missing this ellipse. Doesn't look like we do. So I would want to be bullish on this, but this isn't the type of thing I'd want to enter into until retrograde is over in a couple of days. So just hang tight. And then what, SOL? Matter of fact, before I do that, What the heck? That was for April. Interesting. Yeah, so I don't think we are coming back down. We've got highs here at the end of the month. There should be a pretty big move to the upside here at the end of the month. You might even hop into a partial long here, and then if you go lower, add to the long is what I might do there. But again, best strategy is to just wait, sit tight until the 28th, or just open up a small position now if you can't wait. So I had a low here on the cusp of July, August, with a sharp drop at the end of August. That's interesting. Why that unicursal's right there. This is pretty accurate reading, and there's a multi-year. It looks like multi-year high here. Are we at multi-year highs? Not yet. Interesting. So there's possibility of a multi-year high here. And if that takes place, it's probably September or October. Put us all the way up there, at least. But there's probably a sharp drop off of a peak here at the end of the month into September, but that drop offers opportunity before this high that we have in later September. With that said, guys, I got to roll. NVIDIA earnings. Yeah, just check one of our past. I mean, people have asked that question so many times. It was like just check it out on one of our lives. I hate re-answering the same questions. It's so annoying. And like I said, it muddles the prediction. All right, guys. What am I forgetting? Oh, okay. So, guys, look out for that. Look out for that questionnaire that we're going to mail out. Super important. Try and fill that out tonight when it comes out, or tomorrow, because it's really, really important. And then I'll have an idea of what changes we're going to make for sure. But there's a lot of changes. One of those changes is that the Discord alerts, you're not going to be able to order them individually anymore. They're going to be packaged with the other stuff. So, you know, if you're thinking about doing that, you should do it while you can. There's a 7-day free trial. Highly recommend it. either way, you'll still be able to get it. It's just going to be packaged, not by itself anymore. And then special offer, we're doing that two for 600, two 2025 1 year readings for 600. Any crypto or ticker symbol that you want, two for 600. That's that's a pretty serious discount, guys. Normally they're like $500 a pop. So, two for six, and most likely this will be the last month of 2024 where we do special offers on 2025 1 year readings, because the demand for them is going to become much more. So take advantage while it's here, my friends. If you're interested in that special offer, just email me on the website or hit me up in Discord, and I'll direct you accordingly. But with that said, blessings to all my angel investors. You know where to go. You know what to do.